In this short video, I'm going to describe how we programmed around FCMB's webhook process. FCMB's webhook, we found it to be quite slow, sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes before the webhook is sent or reaches our system. And that's too slow for in-app uh, workflow between our conversation between our customers, our users, and various applications. Right, it's slower than the industry standard. Also, we noticed that sometimes the package either isn't sent or isn't received, and some of it that might be because it's sent once, so it's amenable to disruptions on the internet. And once that packet is lost, that one time, it doesn't get received by the system, and that's going to create a huge customer service load, because now customers are going to make payments, and some of the payments will be recorded and credited, and some will not be recorded and credited. Apart from, of course, the user experience, which the users are waiting too long. So the webhook process is a push, right? We combined it with a pull as well. So the webhook, we did implement it, but we implemented as well a pull, where in the flow of the interaction between the user and a system, the user goes and makes a payment. The user returns while they're still in that, conversation with the application, and they indicate they've made the payment. We pull that information from FTMB system. Now that pull call is this one, and we notice that that's 100% always accurate. Once a payment is made, we pull that information, we see that payment, we get that payment all the time, and so there's no need waiting 6 7 minutes for the webhook to acknowledge that payment has been made. Now, also, of course, we have to make sure that payment cannot be credited twice, and because there's a very unique transaction ID when we do the pull, which is also the same transaction ID when the webhook is sent, there's no risk at all, as long as we record it in such a way within a transaction, right? So that there's just no way there can be any collisions or any possibility where that information is going to be received twice or credited twice. All right. So in the next video, will show how we package this and provide it to our developers, because we have various developers that are using this, right? Developers that create web apps, developers that create mobile apps, and of course projects as well. This is a full-fledged payment system, so other projects can can also register and use this service and pay the fees for using this service. So that's the next step. I will show how we package that together for our developers.
In this quick video, I will demonstrate another Toronet feature which allows projects and users on the platform to make payments in a local currency and exchange value in fiat with the local stablecoin. So Toronet maintains the stablecoin in most of the jurisdictions that we have users, many users that are not really touched or well served by the traditional financial system. All right. So with this call, we have the payment initialize API call. The prerequisite to this video is the earlier video on how the Toronet payments system works, right? Because Toronet is it's a platform plus. It provides blockchain facilities. It provides payment system services as well. All right. So here, the currency we've chosen is NGN, and we've chosen the NGN stablecoin, which is a Toro Naira on-chain. Right, and this is my address. So I am making the payment, and I'm paying 500 Nairas. And those are parameters which the developer that is using this API, that's building an application, will utilize. Right, the fee type is 1, which means the customer is paying the fees. I'm going to change this so that the fee type is 0. Right, the customer is still paying the fee, but the customer is paying the fee at the payment services layer, not the blockchain layer. So the fees are added, the customer pays the fee, but only the amount is credited on chain as a stablecoin. All right, there's 3 options. The customer could also pay the fee on chain, which means the entire thing is minted, but only the principal portion is sent to the customer's account, and the fee goes to ToroNet's on-chain account as the stablecoin, right? And the merchant pays the fees, meaning the entire amount is actually credited to the customer, and the merchant is deducted off on-chain for the fee. All right. And there are other parameters as well, which the manual explains. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make this payment now. All right. Okay, so we do have a minimum set for 1,000 Naira just to make, just for the efficiency of the process because of the amount of fees which small transactions can incur. And now this is another difference between a blockchain and the fiat world. In the blockchain world, we can afford to do microtransactions because the cost of transactions on the ToroNet platform is very low. But because of fees, there is a minimum amount, and the legacy infrastructure that fiat organizations have to go through, there's a minimum amount that makes sense for the amount of fees. Because ToroNet still also does does have to pay fees to the providers, banks, and so on, that's part of serving the fiat portion of this request. All right, so we will go ahead and run this. Okay, so now this has been initialized, right? And I am supposed to deposit that amount from my bank account. So this service is based on user bank account. Is an ACH payment, is a bank payment, right? In the earlier video, I showed payments with a credit card in USD. And here, for this service right now, we do support bank payments. So I'm going to go now and have someone deposit that amount for me. Okay. So that amount is going to be deposited, and then I will come back to the application and indicate that the payment has been made. All right. So following that instruction, following the customer making the payment, the customer returns to the application and indicates that they have made the payment and wish to proceed. Initially, let's check the customer's account balance. So we see that it's still just 1148 Toro Nairas. And after the customer has indicated their paying and we proceed, the system should record, we'll check the account, and based on how much the customer has paid, we'll credit the customer. And this can be done only one time because the transaction record is actually saved so that a transaction cannot be credited more than once. So we see that that has happened. 1,000 Naira has been indicated important in the system. Now, I used a main function, but other projects would, as explained in the first video, pre-populate a reserve account from which they would simply record, and the process would transfer the equivalent Naira into that account. They can withdraw later using the withdraw functions, which I will demonstrate in a second video. Can actually withdraw directly. Customer can withdraw. Anyone with Toro Naira can withdraw against actual fiat. Right? That would be an export. All right, so now let's check the customer's account. Now that this has been completed, and we see that the customer's account has increased by 1,000 Toros. So that's the amount here. So this completes the demonstration of how to use the Toro Net's payment services platform in Naira to deposit Naira into the system and obtain Toro Nairas, a stable coin, on the platform, right? And now this amount can be used for any services that any project is providing on the platform. And at any point, the customer can also withdraw their Toro Nairas.